into our top story. The US Supreme Court swing vote. Justice Anthony Kennedy is retiring. He famously struck down any limits in elections spending for corporate citizens in the United. He wrote the landmark opinion that made same-sex marriage legal in the United States. Some of the decisions that he has made or has led the way on or given the vote for have now become the orthodoxy of the US legal system. Joan Biskupic is a CNN Supreme Court analyst. She joins me from Washington. So why is he going? All right, he's in his 80s, but I mean, why did he decide? I mean, he obviously knows the core issue of the potential to shift the ideological balance of the court. So why is he gone?
You know, I think you said it right when you opened the introduction. He's going to be 82. You know, he was getting wearier. You know, we can see that from the bench. I think it felt like time. It's been 30 years. I personally thought he would stay because of this key role he has had. You name the issue, and Anthony Kennedy has dictated the outcome. You ran through some of those where he went both with conservatives and liberals. He set the law of the land in America, and many people called it the Kennedy Court more than they did the Roberts Court. But I do think it just comes down to age, and also I'm going to mention something politically. I know that the White House and Republicans were putting a lot of pressure on him, saying you should go now, just in case the Senate switches to a Democratic majority. I think that's a real long shot. But, you know, maybe he thought that the political timing was also right with the personal timing.
We could end up with, or the U.S. could end up with a situation where, you know, the 5-4 majority is baked in because a conservative is put in his place. And you could even get a 6-3. But you could end up with, in the future, with the 3 female justices always being the ones in the minority.
It's so true. Now, right now, we have a 4th liberal who happens to be male, Stephen Breyer, but he turns 80 this year. And, you know, and also, you know, Ruth Bader Ginsburg is 85. So you don't know what's going to happen at that end of the bench. And what Donald Trump has done is exactly what Republican presidents in the past have done. Look for youngsters, you know, relative youngsters. If you're only 60 or 50 or 40, you're a spring chicken on the United States Supreme Court.
Oh, you make me feel young, thank you. So finally, look, help our viewers around the world understand the significance of this, because all countries have Supreme Courts, High Courts, ultimate courts of appeal. They rarely, because of the way judges are appointed, certainly the Supreme Court in Britain, for example, they rarely have a political or ideological bent to them in quite the same way. What cases are we looking at, do you think? What issues are we looking at in the next 10 years?
Okay, I'll answer that, and I'll also tell you what makes the United States Supreme Court different. First of all, these individuals are appointed for life. You know, they come on young and they stay for a long time. And even though they're supposed to be appointed in a kind of neutral way, it's political, and they end up voting in ideological and political ways that really matter. Okay, coming down the line, issues that we're all familiar with: more challenges to abortion, more challenges to racial affirmative action on campuses. There's a case percolating up from Harvard on that could come before the justices. I do not think that something's going to change on the fundamental right to same-sex marriage, but where things could be different is in terms of how people can exercise that right. As your viewers are probably familiar, we had the case this year of the Colorado Christian baker who did not want to prepare a cake for a gay couple. And, you know, we could have more cases like that.
This is a big deal.
Oh, huge, huge deal.